Good day, brothers and sisters in Christ. I welcome you to our Sunday reflection for the 13th Sunday of Year A. The theme of our reflection is hospitality, expression of radical discipleship. If anyone gives even a cup of cold water to one of these little ones, that person will certainly not lose their reward. Matthew chapter 10, verse 42. A guest at one of the Marriott hotels learned that her sister had just died. Heartbroken, she shared her grief with a hotel employee. The employee, Charles, got all the staff on duty to sign a sympathy card. But he did something even more touching. He gave her the card with a slice of hot apple pie. The guest was impressed and wrote a letter of thanks to the hotel's chain's president. She noted, "Mr. Marriott, I will never meet you, and I don't need to meet you because I met Charles. I know what you stand for. I want to assure you that as long as I live, I will stay at your hotels." End of quote. Christian hospitality is more than a passing kindness. Those who experience our hospitality need not meet God, for they encounter Him in us. This helps us to understand why our readings highlight hospitality. The first reading recounts how a wealthy woman from Shunem showed radical hospitality by building a room for Elijah after recognizing him as a prophet. God rewards her with a son, bringing new life to a place that seemed empty and hopeless. In the Gospel, Jesus teaches about hospitality, simplifying it and challenging us to recognize that when we open our hearts and homes and communities to others in His name, we open them to Him. We do not need to build grand structures like the wealthy woman. Offering a simple cup of cold water suffices. Our second reading provides us with a disposition for hospitality. In baptism, we die to our selfishness and live a Christ-like life. This transformation frees us for radical discipleship expressed in hospitality. Radical hospitality, which Jesus challenges us to practice, is both beautiful and demanding. As a result, it is rarely practiced. One reason for this difficulty is that we have designed our homes and personal schedules to be our sanctuaries. They are places where we can dictate the environment, noise level, and timeline. Hospitality forces us to surrender that control. When we open our space with time to someone else, we invite their unpredictable schedules, habits, sometimes bad, and disruptions into our ordinary lives. The need for organization and control can limit our capacity to receive guests. Hospitality requires a willingness to say, "My comfort, schedule, and need for control are less important than your need." Hospitality challenges us to place ourselves in the shoes of the stranger. What will I expect if I were in the same situation? Is the question we need to ask. This forces us to become more generous with our time, talent, and treasure. Henry Nouwen wrote profoundly on how transformative hospitality can become when offered freely. And I quote, "Hospitality therefore means primarily the creation of free space where the stranger can enter and become a friend instead of an enemy. Hospitality is not about changing people, but about offering them space where change can take place. It is not to bring men and women over to our side, but to offer freedom, not disturbed by dividing lines. It is not to lead our neighbor to a corner where there are no alternatives left, but to open the wide spectrum of options for choice and commitment. It is the liberation of fearful hearts so that words can find roots and bear ample fruit. End of quote. Hospitality challenges us to transform our hearts so we can welcome people without fear or hostility. It is more about accepting people into our hearts than into our homes. We extend hospitality wherever people are by making them feel safe. The question that helps us consistently practice the golden rule is, if I were in the shoes of the person in need, what will my expectations be? Always remember that you make God visible when you are hospitable, just like Charles made Mr. Marriott visible to his hotel guests. This week, I challenge you to do the following. 1. Who in your life, a lonely neighbor, a difficult family member, a stranger at church, needs the metaphorical cup of cold water? Offer it to them. 2. Appreciate those who serve in the parish's hospitality ministry. A kind thank you will suffice. Have a blessed week.